Well, thanks again for coming. I appreciate it. Before I begin, I just want to introduce the people that are up here with me. To my left is Supervisor Bill Roddick from the town of Greece, Assistant District Attorney Amanda Balling from the DA's office, Lieutenant Chris Bitten, who runs our Criminal Investigations Division, and Casey Volko, who's the Deputy Chief of Operations. For the past week, our Criminal Investigations Division has been working tirelessly on the homicide of Otilia Piros. This investigation culminated with the filing of a felony complaint and subsequent arrest warrant signed by Acting Supreme Court Justice Chacho on January 1st, 2021, charging 17-year-old Hannah Thomas and 16-year-old Richard Avila with murder in the second degree and criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. It is alleged that sometime between December 28th and December 29th, Thomas and Avila, acting together, possessed a loaded firearm and intentionally shot Otilia twice in her head while inside her residence at 43 West Parkway. What makes this case even more egregious and sickening is the fact that Otilia was executed in her home at the hands of her own daughter and daughter's boyfriend. I will give a brief overview of what led us to this point in the investigation and the charges being filed. In the early morning hours of December 29th, Patrol Corporal Noah Sankovich of the St. Robert Police Department in Missouri was on routine patrol on Interstate 44 when he observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed westbound. Corporal Sankovich stopped the vehicle and ultimately identified the occupants as Avila and Thomas. Upon making the stop, Avila and Thomas gave inconsistent stories and statements regarding their identity and whose vehicle they were in. These inconsistencies, along with other factors at the scene, led Corporal Sankovich to contact our agency to check the welfare of Otilia. Once Otilia was discovered deceased, we contacted the St. Robert Police Department and immediately made arrangements for our detectives to travel to St. Robert, Missouri to conduct interviews and engage in further evidence gathering. During the course of this investigation, a handgun was located in the vehicle Thomas and Avila were traveling in when stopped by Corporal Sankovich. Ballistic analysis of the weapon was completed, and it was determined that this firearm was used to murder Otilia. Although the individuals responsible for Otilia's death have been arrested, our work on this case is far from over. Our focus moving forward is to prepare this case for successful prosecution so that justice can be served. We are asking any members of the public that may have information that will aid in our investigation, they're encouraged to contact the Greece Police Department at 865-9200. I'm going to turn it over to Supervisor Riley for some comments.
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon. I must say it is worth noting that Chief Forsythe certainly has had a busy start to what we know will be a noteworthy service to the residents of the town of Greece. And our new Chief Police is hitting the ground running, as to say the least. I have the utmost confidence in his leadership and vision as we work together to ensure the safety of our residents. It has been over 10 years since we've had a homicide of this nature in the town of Greece. And we wanted to make sure that the perpetrators were brought to justice fairly and swiftly, and that was a paramount part of what took place. So today I want to commend Chief Forsythe, Deputy Chief Volko, Deputy Detectives Kevin Mack and Katie Moran, Technicians Bill Murray, and all of the members of the Greece Police Department Patrol and CID units. And on behalf of the residents of the town of Greece, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for your integrity, your performance, and your service to our town. You all exemplify the motto that stands true to this department. I know that Chief Forsythe also is a great example for the members of the department. He has already shown that he is a hands-on chief who cares deeply about our community and our officers. He has his own motto of service: lead, inspire, and empower. And I've already witnessed this leadership style as he interacted with our office, our command staff, and my office, and the offices and the various agencies involved. I was briefed by the chief at the start of this investigation and have been briefed at each stage of this event. This was a thorough job from start to finish. I would also like to reiterate on behalf of the town of Greece our thanks to St. Robert's Police Department in Missouri, the New York State Forensic Investigations Unit, and our District Attorney, Sandra Dorley, ADA Amanda Balling, and ADA Kevin Sutherland. and her entire team at the DA's office. A great example of private and public partnership was shown by Matt Indiano from Victor Chevrolet. One call and an explanation of our needs was all it took for Matt to step up and offer great assistance in this investigation. Throughout the entire investigation, it was also evident to me that the teamwork and collaboration on behalf of the individuals I have mentioned was the key to the success in this announcement of arrest today. I now turn it back to the chief for further comments regarding the situation.
Chief, can you spell their names for us, the two suspects?
Yes. Hannah, Hannah Thomas, Thomas, and Richard Avila, Avila.
She's 17 and he's 16, correct?
Correct.
Chief, what may have led to this homicide?
I'm sorry?
What may have led to this homicide?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on the motive for why this was done, other than to say that it was an egregious act, and that's all I'm really going to say about that.
You said that Ms. Piros, though, was executed.
Correct.
Why would you use that term?
She was shot close range in her head. To me, that's an execution.
But there's no motive that you're ready to release at this point?
No.
Have mother and daughter ever been dealt with police before this happened?
You know, we're still looking into the backgrounds of all involved, so I don't really have too much with regards to any police involvement that they may or may not have had in the past.
What about Avila? Is he known to police? I know he's only 16.
Yeah, I believe he has some sort of history. Again, we're looking into that. You know, it's been a week along with this investigation, and there's been a lot done at this point. There's still much more to do.
Whose car were they found in Missouri?
They were found in the victim's car.
Did both teens live in Greece?
No, they're from Arizona.
Both teens they're from Arizona. So she was so Hannah was separated or somehow from, was she living with her father then out there?
She was. She came to visit for the holidays over Christmas.
And I guess they were heading back to Arizona. They got caught in Missouri. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I don't want to get into what was discussed with regards to that, but they were certainly leaving Rochester.
Any possible owner of the weapon, and what kind of weapon was it? I know you said handgun, but
yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I mean, you know, what I prefaced in this is that we have to prepare this case for grand jury, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I don't want to prejudice that or provide information that may taint the investigation in any way. And I really do, I understand and I appreciate the questions that you have. What we're trying to do as an agency and as a town is to provide answers to you all, particularly to the community, as best we can as far as the investigation moves along. But I think you can understand and appreciate the fact that to jeopardize anything at this point, or even on a side that, you know, I'm not even 100% certain may impact the case, I'd rather err on the side of caution and let the facts play out as they may. And certainly, as we move forward with this investigation and they're brought back into Rochester into custody, there may be you know, other opportunities where we can kind of delve a little bit more into the charges.
well, Chief, you just took over the position, and this is your first homicide, and it only took a week to figure out what happened. How do you feel as a chief? How does the department?
Well, I'll just tell you that, quite frankly, it had nothing to do with me. The work that these guys did was, you know, I've been on several homicides in my previous employment. When this occurred, these people behind me and their staffs showed up at the scene. There was no questions about anything. It was just like we gave assignments out, we gave direction. There wasn't a lot of direction that had to be given. You know, a lot of credit goes to this officer down in Missouri, the work that he did on this really aided us in our investigation. But that being said, when I spoke last week about 30 hours being up, they really were.
Have they been extradited to Greece yet, or are they still in Missouri?
No, they're still in Missouri. There's
Okay, so no word
warrants
on-
have been filed down in their holding facilities down there, and that process is underway.
No word on that when they'll be arraigned.
No, no.
And then you also indicated you expect this will be presented to a grand jury?
Yes, at some point, once they're brought back, that's the process that I'm sure will take place. I just want to add one thing, like with this investigation and what these guys really did. Like men and women. We sent 2 detectives and Bill Murray, who's one of our technicians. We flew him down, obviously right away that day, and the supervisor mentioned somebody from our community that we needed to bring, obviously, a vehicle involved back, and they all just stepped up. There wasn't like, I can't do it, I'm busy, and so, I get a little bit emotional because, to see the work and to sit back as, the leader of the organization and to see what these guys have really done over the last 7 days. Kevin Mack, Katie Moran, incredible work, incredible work.
This was pretty significant, but there were certainly 2 or 3 other events in that same week. A lot of hours were put in by the GPD.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. It really has, and again, I've certainly seen these before. I'm not new to this, but to see the work and that's pretty much the case in any agency, to be honest with you. But to this is the first one, certainly in a long time here, and Casey and Chris, leading the investigation. These investigators, technician, it really. It was impressive to see, but again, to never lose sight. This woman, didn't deserve this over the holidays at the hands of her own daughter. When you think about that, in the manner that this occurred, and so our hearts go out to that family, to their friends, because it doesn't get much worse than that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. All right.
Yeah.
Sobering, huh?